Now, the fight against climate change has been at the centre of protests and political discourse worldwide and is seen as one of the greatest threats to our planet. Well, our next guests went to the actual front lines of the battle, travelling far and wide, whether that's to the North or South Pole, to witness firsthand the impact of global warming. In fact, he was even part of the first solar-powered Antarctic expedition. Well, now 25-year-old polar explorer Barney Swan joins us here in the studio to discuss all your adventures and, of course, your new documentary that's premiering here in Singapore tonight. Now, first off, these do seem like exciting adventures that you've been on, but they have a serious environmental message behind them.
Yes, we are going to these places and really understanding what the world is telling us, both in the North Pole, the South Pole, places like the Himalayas, and coming back, really trying to drive solutions that will protect and restore what is going on, but really learning from these places.
Right. Now, we're seeing some clips from your documentary, The Naked Arctic Explorer. Tell us a little bit about what you saw at both poles, the effects of climate change that you've seen pretty much firsthand.
Well, what we're experiencing now up in the Arctic is really very, very scary. The summer ice isn't a thing anymore. My father skied to the North Pole in the 80s. That is nearly impossible now. By 2030, 2040, that will be straight impossible. And the South Pole, the Antarctic, which contains 90% of the world's ice, 70% of the world's fresh water, this has the potential to reshape our planet unlike any other place. And we're seeing the early warning signs of down south of what we're already experiencing up north.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned your father, Robert Swan. He's been recognised. He has an OBE for being the first man to walk both the North and South Pole. Tell us what it's been like to be working with him, making some of these films, documenting the climate change you've seen.
Well, it's just been a very humbling experience working generation and generation. We're two very different people, but we meet in the middle behind making the story of climate change and convenient solutions just relevant. And I believe what we do together creates a story that cuts between generations. And yeah, it's just been a very humbling process working with him over these years.
Yeah, and I'm sure our viewers have noticed you're pretty young. You're in your mid-20s. We know that a lot of environmental campaigners, the likes of Greta Thunberg, she's 16 years old. So this is an important message for your generation. What are you doing to try to reach out to this generation?
Well, I think we just need more hope. I think we get drowned in a lot of information and just getting inundated with too much negative news. And I'm really just trying to be a part of creating some good news. That's why I'm here with Green is the New Black and their Conscious Festival. I think that's a perfect example of people coming together, creating a little marketplace of just good news and very tangible things that we can do on a day-to-day basis, whether it's in business, policy, at school, when we travel, just making it really, really simple, because I think we sometimes get lost in the bigger picture of addressing this issue, and we need to bring it back to what we can do personally in our businesses, in our day-to-day life. And I'm just trying to make it fun and make it sexy, because if it's not sexy and fun, no one's going to pay attention to it. We really need to make it, celebrities and all of these influencers be a part of accelerating this and make it something that isn't just a tree-hugging kind of hippy-dippy thing, but something that big business and these celebrities can be a part of driving.
OK, well, thank you for coming in and talking to us about your film and, of course, some of your adventures and your concerns around, obviously, climate change and other issues. Barney Swan, lovely having you on the show.
Thank you, my dear.